You are now listening to
the Primal Armor Podcast.
This episode is sponsored by Executive Fit LLC. They build custom deadlift platforms, custom barbell storage pieces, and make indoor and outdoor signage for your home or corporate gym. Every platform that pairs with a rack is customized to that specific rack, so everything fits nice and clean. And they ship nationwide. Each platform has a logo applied in a way that makes it impossible to peel up from wear and tear. They even make custom nameplates for your squat rack. Visit executivefitllc.com to request a quote and see what's available on their store. That's executivefitllc.com to upgrade your deadlift game today. Welcome back to episode 69 of the Primal Armor Podcast. This week, we're going to be focusing on another offbeat topic that kind of pairs with what we were talking about last week with the breathing techniques, and that's going to be focusing on ice baths and cold showers. I've been seeing people talk more and more about them these days, and I know if I'm interested in them, that a lot of you probably are too. But I think a lot of people look at ice baths and cold showers and stuff like that and think, why would I ever want to do that? But there are actually some scientific benefits that come from them. And a lot of these benefits stem from inflammation inside the body. But first, we have to dive into what inflammation really is. And inflammation is just an immune response in the body to a trigger, whether that's internally or externally. So let's take an ankle sprain, for example. The sprain is the trigger, and your body directs the inflammation to that area, and it becomes swollen, red, and warm. And it does this as a mechanism to help guard from anything further happening to it. But you need the swelling to go down to actually start the repairing process. And this type of response can happen anywhere in the body, even in your gut. And that's what bloating actually is. It's just inflammation inside the body. Your body doesn't agree with the food that you're eating, and the inflammation process begins. And this is why different foods bloat different people. It's because it's all about what does and doesn't agree with your body. But to begin to get rid of that trigger in the body, we have to reduce the swelling and inflammation that happens into our immune system. And getting your body into an ice bath or a cold shower helps combat that swelling and temperature increase that comes from inflammation, which in return helps ease the stress on our immune system because it no longer has to work as hard to get the job done. And not only does it help reduce swelling, but it also helps your immune system in other ways. Studies have shown that consistent cold exposure increases the number of white blood cells in your body. And these are the blood cells that help fight off sickness and disease. So if you're someone who kind of gets runny noses all the time, sore throats, you're feeling sick, or even just feeling blah after you're eating all your meals from that bloating, ice baths or cold showers might be for you. Another reason why people use ice baths and cold showers is to help improve their post-workout recovery. When you're in that cold water, the blood vessels in your muscles constrict. And this helps with reducing the inflammation and swelling that we talked about earlier. But when you exit the cold water, your blood vessels dilate again, increasing circulation to your muscles to bring nutrient-rich blood quicker and help remove metabolic waste that was built up during the workout, which in return helps speed up the recovery process. So this can be a great option to use post-workout. And this is why a lot of people do ice baths directly after practices or after hard workouts. But cold water can also help improve your mood. Recent studies have shown that cold showers can actually increase your dopamine levels by 200 to 250%. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter that elevates your mood and enhances your focus and attention and helps bring out goal-directed behaviors. This can make you a much happier and much more productive person. On top of it enhancing dopamine to increase focus and attention, you can also pair it with the breathing techniques that we talked about last week. And this can be a win-win situation for those of you who struggle with that brain fog. And focusing on breathing techniques can be very helpful for actually getting you to commit to being in cold water. Because no one just hops in a cold shower or an ice bath for fun, or because they think it's easy. You will almost for surely need to do something to keep your mind off of being in the cold water. And that's where those breathing techniques can really help and come into play. When you have to focus on the cadence of your breath, or keep track of the number of breaths that you're taking, or how long that you're holding your breath, then that can really help keep your mind off of how cold the water is that you're in. And this can make a cold shower or an ice bath actually a stress-relieving activity. Because I know most people correlate a nice warm bath or a hot shower with stress relief, but a cold one can actually be too. Pair that with the health benefits that cold water can bring, and you can see why some people actually choose to tough it out and try it. It can also help you from even experiencing as much stress in the first place. Cold exposure has been shown to lower your sympathetic fight or flight response, which will make it easier to focus and handle those moments that really ramp up your heart rate and usually have you to have distorted thinking and distorted time. The better that your body is at staying calm during a fight or flight experience, the better you'll be at those autonomic responses that happen in the body, which is a great way to make those shocking moments not so shocking on your body. These are all some great benefits that come along with ice baths and cold water training. But what's the best way to prep or prepare for it? Because it's just not as easy as hopping in a tub full of ice. You should gradually build up to colder temperatures so it doesn't really shock your system. To make an ice bath at home, add some room temperature water to a tub, and then use a thermometer to get the correct degrees that you want. Start at like 50 degrees and then go colder from there, and then do about 5 or 10 minutes at a time to start. And from there, you can go on for longer times, or go to colder temperatures, or whatever you feel like comfortable progressing to. It needs to be a gradual progression, so you're not shocking the body too much, and so you don't risk being in too cold of water for too long and risk getting hypothermia. The more you do it, the more acclimated your body will become, and the easier it will become to experience all the benefits of cold water training that we just talked about. But like I was saying earlier, it isn't easy, and it's not for everyone. But now you know the benefits that come along with trying it. And if you're like me and you're very interested in this topic, now you have a starting point in case you decide that you actually want to try it. So take these points in your next week and give it a try if you're brave enough. I just want to thank you for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you back here again next week.